and Bill Kosawan as my special guest today.
And Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas to all, and I hope you see the hats and the eared, what is that, an elf?
That's an elf.
Elf hat. Yeah. And I had to remove it from Tony's head because I didn't think it was appropriate. But the Santa Claus hat, maybe not. So welcome to the show.
We need an elf in this town.
Today, we do need an elf in this town. Today is December 18th, 2025. And welcome to our local broadcast of Topics of the Town News. New quote for today. And well, the agenda and the opinions, as you know, are solely by the Topics of the Town host, guests, and commentators. So be very careful of what we say, but we don't want to offend anyone.
Exactly.
But we are free speech here. So, new quote. Unthinking respect for authority is the greatest enemy of truth. I thought that was something that really meant something for the town of Danvers because we are so bent on accepting everybody's comments and everybody's direction, but we have to rely on our own recognition of the truth. I bring this forward because we need and deserve strong leadership for our community. Where have all the leaders gone?
I think a lot of them have passed away.
And I'm referring back to the recent select board meetings, school committee meetings, planning board meetings, which we have attended in the past. Where are the local heroes of our society? We no longer have John George or Jimmy George or Wayne Marquis.
Leo Almeida.
Leo Almeida is right, absolutely. He served on the finance committee for years.
He was always at all the meetings and everything else.
So
that's frustrating everybody. Everybody's leaving. No one wants to bother anymore.
Well, that's part of the problem because I don't think we have commitment to the existence and cooperation with the town. Where are the local heroes of our society? Where are the town fathers and mothers who are elected by us, the voters? Have we misplaced our trust in the community leaders? That we have to evaluate because that is something that's been sort of brewing around the edges.
It feels that way, I'll tell you that right now.
Tony, I believe that we have lost a lot of the past and we have not learned from the history of what happened in the past. The current town government is deaf to the issues that count. We are overtaxed, abused as taxpayers and ratepayers at our utilities and basic services. We need relief.
Did you hear the last meeting that was talking about the 2.5? The state's trying to get rid of the 2.5.
Absolutely, there's.
What would that do to our tax purposes? That happens.
Well, the thing is, that it's going to go up because our leaders don't give a damn about the taxpayers. All they know is that it's a cow.
From the limit now.
Well, we are at the limit right now, but they are running out of your and mine money.
Yes. They have to find a way to get some money coming into this town. They need some people working.
Well, let me just continue and wrap this up because
I'm not trying to be
this is Mark Twain speaking in a moment. Our voices are heard at public assemblies, but when it comes to taking action, we are abandoned due to political inaction and deliberate anticipation that the complainers will get tired and go away.
I believe that's a really
Our leaders are asleep at the switch. Now look at the review of the Warren articles that the selectmen were reviewing last Tuesday, there was nobody in the audience.
Well, didn't
I
seem like
watched the show on cable,
much. Yes.
but there was nobody in the
No.
audience to exercise their
Well-
reviews.
How long has this been going on for? They wouldn't let anybody speak until this last meeting. Even I don't even think anybody really spoke. Not that many people.
No,
People were waiting for weeks and weeks at a time. Every other meeting before that, and no one could speak.
that's right.
Now they did it the smart thing. Now comes Christmas. Everybody's busy. Now you can speak.
That's exactly what it's
Feels
all
that
about.
way.
Which and how many public comments are presented but not acted upon by our select board and our other boards? Talk is cheap and answers are lacking. We must understand the political tactics and the kind of words of wisdom by Mark Twain. And Ben, if you can put in the clip that I have of Mark Twain. No amount of evidence will ever persuade an idiot. And I've been using the idiot term, and I'm sorry if I offend people, but this is very appropriate. You have anything to say
No,
on Mark Twain?
No.
No. See, there
I can't
you
believe
go.
how smart he was already back then.
And this was about 100 years
That's what I'm
ago.
trying to get at. He was a very intelligent person.
There has been excess of evidence regarding the issues that Danvers residents are about, and nothing is accomplished by our leaders. So, this week, I again chose 4 or 5 different subjects, and what I want to do is go through them pretty quickly because I think we've talked about most of them in the past. Town charter review and implications, the recall petition, the clickers,
Yes, that's an important one.
grammar and tense. Why do we have a reference to he, she, and them? What does that have to do with the town charter review?
I think they're trying to figure out if they can't sneak something in with one of those words.
there's
I don't know.
there's the wokeness that has
I don't
happened
know.
in our town, and we are falling on our own sword.
And where was the attorney this time around?
She didn't have to do anything. That whole thing is a pretend.
Well, she was there out of
review.
all the other meetings. Now this is, I don't know.
Well, she didn't want to be committed because it's costing
Maybe it's closer
them,
to Christmas. It cost more.
it's costing them $150 to $200 an hour.
I thought she was
for
on a
her.
retainer. Is she on a retainer?
She's on a retainer, but
Right.
what do you think the retainer is made up of? $100 and some $1,000 that we are committed to, and everything extra is charged on top of that.
Okay.
Town charter, town manager review, and evaluation of the type of government we need or want. Now, I've looked over the report all over again, and I don't know what your feeling is, but I believe, and I've sent the last show to the Board of Selectmen so they can view our comments. And I haven't heard a comment from them.
Because they do only what they want to do. They don't care about anybody else.
So the thing
That's the sad
is
part.
that I have also dug up the presentation of the Town Meeting Town Manager Act Review Committee of May 14th, 2025, which included a report that they have reviewed these 2 acts. The first question I should have asked, or they should have asked, why do we have 2 very similar town acts of how this charter is in place? The thing is that there is a report from 1949 when this thing turned into a town manager act, but they forgot to remove the town charter or the town meeting act because it's exactly the same. So why do we challenge our residents? So what happened here is that there were basically 3 items. One was a grammatical and punctuation review, which is fine. But the thing is, this was not the challenge to the review committee. The second one was the recall petition, which they included in there. But boy, oh boy, what a fight there was on trying to kill it. Now, Mike, what's his name?
Mike Bean?
No, Mike Bean was mistaken for the author.
Oh, you're talking about Mike Trainer.
Mike Trainer. Mike Trainer was very supportive
He's been trying to do this for a while.
for 3 years now.
Yes. And
And-
there was nothing wrong with the first one he tried to do.
And the thing is that Gardner Trask, in his wisdom, claims to be the original author of that review.
He's the genius of the select board.
Well, we haven't got our spaceman yet.
No.
But the second item was what? The town charter, the grammatical changes,
And the clickers.
and the clickers. And the clickers they didn't even include because what they did is send it to committee. And that means last meeting that they had, they basically send it packing until the annual town meeting. And they're not going to accept it because it takes away the power of the moderator and the Board of Selectmen.
You and I know they can't fudge the votes. Okay, I'm still convinced that the trash fee did not pass. I'm still convinced.
And maybe that should come back as a citizen's petition all over
I mean, they didn't
again.
even let us speak, if you remember that. Even when we got up and stuff, then the next meeting, remember, we couldn't do anything about it. I mean, they control everything. They want to control everything.
Well, that's part of the current government structure.
Right.
So the review of the charters,
The clickers
which,
will make this thing more fair.
that's right, and that was presented 3 years ago, and 2 years ago, and 1 year ago, and it didn't go anywhere.
It's picking up steam now, so they have to look at it again. They're trying to make it go away again. But if we keep with the power on it, they're going to have to accept it.
Well, we also have the questions that have been raised in the past of the planning board having so much authority, because in the 90s and 2000, the power of the zoning board of appeals was basically shifted over to the planning board
Yeah, but
to make it concise decision about the buildings that are coming up. In
what do you notice about the zoning boards now? What's the big thing you've noticed about the zoning board?
zoning board doesn't have any authority at all.
Remember,
They approve everything.
Yeah, but wait, hold it. Before, remember, there was always the inspector was always there at the meeting.
Right.
He's not there anymore.
Because they passed that along to the planning board.
Right, but
and the
that's
planning
why
board,
we're having trouble now. I think that's why we're having trouble. I think if we had, he was there. He knows the zoning. He knows everything else. He can control it more. It's like having an attorney sitting there.
Right.
Okay. You don't have that anymore. So to me, they lost it. I don't know why they got away from it, but they got away from it.
Well, they lost Rick Maloney.
Yes, and Rick was a good person, but the guy before him did it too. And the one
Yes.
before him did it.
Oh, the one before them was great. So the thing is that I've watched this presentation from the Board of Select Board, and it was a useless exercise because what they did is basically confirmed everything that was there. They don't want any change.
Well, that's it. We
And
know
the
that.
problem is that the Town Manager Act is the strong town charter document that gives too much authority and responsibility to the town manager.
Okay.
The town manager is not an elected position,
We know that.
and she or he are directed by the Board of Selectmen, and the Board of Selectmen are so weak that they don't know what this town should be in the future.
I think they rely on the manager more than anything else. They're supposed to.
Well, that's the whole problem.
Right, I think so, but I'm not 100% sure. That's what it feels like to me. But
The
I'm not
planning
sure.
board should not be appointed by the town manager. It should be either elected or appointed by the Board of Selectmen, because they are the elected, responsible, authorized personnel that represent us.
Well, they dictate, and that's what dictates a lot what's going on in this town through them, basically.
Well, yeah, but they don't know what they're doing. That's half of the problem. So, town manager is a position, and one of the other items is the residency requirement of the town manager.
Yeah, they went on with that one for a while. too.
They went in circles on that.
But see,
The problem is, if the town manager does not reside in the town, they do not experience the impacts of taxation, of regulation, of police
what's going on in town?
activities.
What's going on in town? I mean, you need someone that lives around here, especially even close. I mean, otherwise, forget about it. Something happens. I mean, with the explosion on the.
Well, it's not just that. It's the general feel of the town.
Well, exactly.
That the current town manager does not know the history or the impacts of the residents. Who is in charge? There are probably 200 residents, townies, that run this town.
I know, but you know what we lost? We lost Wayne Marquis. And by losing Wayne Marquis, we lost a big picture. Do you realize that man used to drive the streets? If he saw a pothole, when he got back into the office, he would
Right.
call DPW, send him down to take care of the pothole, okay?
Yep.
That man, I mean, he saw something, that was it. He was on top of it. Whether he told the secretary, whatever, that's what I heard, okay? And I know it's true, okay? So that's the big difference. Someone living in town, knowing what's going on and feeling it, and taking an authority figure, okay? Instead of waiting for everybody else to do it. That's the situation.
That's right. And the thing is that right now, we do not have anyone, even the Board of Selectmen, do not attack these kinds of issues directly because they're afraid of themselves.
Yeah, but if you're gonna tax someone $1,000 a day for,
Well, that's
for a problem,
that's
wow, man! I wish they would do that for the airport, man. I'm telling you. Imagine if they gave the people at the airport what they did for those. My God, I'd be in heaven. I would say thank you very much. You're really helping us.
all right.
They showed
So
a backbone like that.
that is the encapsulation of the decisions that the town Board of Selectmen have decided to do. What they decided to do is present each and every paragraph of the Town Manager Act and the Town Meeting Act, which are about the same, into segments of 13 or 14 segments of each one to be warrant articles so the town meeting can vote on each and every one of them. I just asked the question, how much time will they allow for the residents or the town meeting members to speak to the warrant articles?
Well, they're not even going to put the paper out until I don't even know when.
Well, they're supposed to have it available for January 7th, which there's
I don't
another
know.
there's
January
another
7th, only a couple of weeks away.
there's another very important fact of hiding the information, because the last meeting that was conducted as a public meeting did not have the actual document available to the public. So
Still, yeah,
what are they hiding?
no, you're right.
They don't want anyone to interject into their decision
Even
process.
Sally didn't have a copy of it.
Right. So now you know how
it doesn't
this,
make sense. I don't
how
understand
this
it. How they can,
government operates. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to attend the next select board meeting?
January 7th, I believe.
Yes.
It's going to be a Wednesday, I think, instead of a Tuesday.
They're mixing the schedules so
Am I right or
nobody
wrong?
knows.
I thought I heard something like that.
Well, I don't know what January 7th is. I think it's Wednesday.
I think it's a Wednesday. I think it's not on a Tuesday. I
And
thought
the
that's what I
thing
got out of
is,
it.
for whose convenience are we making this?
I don't know.
Now, what they want to do is they pass it on to the Finance Committee. Now, the Finance Committee already heard this thing without any authority or responsibility for it because this
Did
is
they have a meeting?
They already had a meeting.
On what? What they look at?
On the prior review that was submitted. So, that's my statement.
I think this thing's going too fast. Things got to slow
absolutely.
down.
Well,
Put the
thing-
brakes on.
The thing is that we have recommended to the Board of Selectmen to slow down and take a breath and look at what the heck are we really doing.
This is important because they've already seen that it took 20 years for this to be looked at, right? Isn't that
Well,
what-
the thing is, because it was deferred by the boards of selectmen or select boards because they didn't want to be affected by it.
no one wanted to touch it, basically.
That's right. So, here we go. Now, one of the things is the clickers has been moved on to a committee where it's going to die.
No, I don't think so.
Well,
I have a funny feeling someone's going to put a petition together for town meeting. I have a
Well,
funny feeling.
but the thing is, the petition has been filed several times already.
Right, but it depends on the language, and we can take a vote on it. I mean, I don't know. They keep saying people don't want it. I got a funny feeling
Well,
people want it.
This is something that they need to investigate. One of the things that came out of this review is also the planning board has too much power because they are appointed by the town manager, who does not reflect the entire community. And the thing is that the planning board has been willing to listen, but there was a petition that was filed on September 4th to the town management, to the Board of Selectmen and to the town manager, and nothing has happened. The petition was to recent presentations of citizens petition placed before the town meeting, the response of the planning board. Why do we need to approve the requested exceptions when they have been zoning in place, or current zoning in place? What we have challenged at the town meeting was the MBTA zoning, and now, all of a sudden, it's become a petition that is going to be on the ballot in November,
Is that for state or for us?
state.
I know.
We have done our job. We have made it clear that we don't like it, but we need to revisit it, and they don't want to do that. So the town manager is blocking that, and the thing is, I've asked for a resolution of what that petition stands for.
You know what gets me all upset? Is they're doing this because they want to bring in more growth, to bring more money in. The problem is the money's coming in. Our taxes not going down. They're spending it. That's the problem.
They are. And the thing is, the taxes have not gone down, and they have not been assessed the proper amounts to the our values are going sky high because that's what generates additional tax revenue.
I think they're trying to chase people out of here. I mean, anybody that's retired, really. I don't know. You can't accept these jumps. I'm telling you right now, you really can't. I'll be honest with you.
Tony, I'm ready to go to New Hampshire. And you have been saying that New Hampshire is the place, or Florida is the place.
Down south.
And
South Carolina, I'm telling you right now, if the residency there, unbelievable.
I'm not ready yet for Florida, but New Hampshire sounds very tempting. But the problem is that there's so much of our value of our properties tied up in this town, is that we may never be able to recoup it because we're overtaxed and overburdened with regulations. So, We have filed this petition, and I still have not seen a response. Now, the only
If they get away with it, they're not going to give you a response.
well, that's okay. Well, then we're going to have to go to a Freedom of Information request
I don't know, man.
because they are not responsive to us. Public access to the board discussion, and we have already talked about that, and I am very disappointed in the chairwoman of the select board of conducting only a one session for the public comments, for the public input or public opinions that they have discussed for 5 or 6 weeks, and it's a done deal, so why should people even show up? This was December 16th was designated to be an opportunity for public input.
I told you, I think they did it. The reason being Christmas is coming. A lot of people were going to show up. Not going to be able to show
This
up.
town meeting should be canceled. For
I
one,
have a funny feeling, yeah, there's too much going on. And it's, I don't
the
think it's
board does not want any input, and this is the Danvers way.
Exactly. It seems that way. If it's not that way, it seems that way. That's the best way to put it.
Okay, so now we have our special guest, which we presented a brief discussion on the last show of the Danvers Revolutionary Mural. And today we have Bill Cossawan, who has been very active on getting this mural restored and hung up in the town hall.
And let's correct what we did. We kind of messed up. We brought it. I guess the mural was being done by the Rotary Club, right?
That's correct.
And we were talking about, I was talking about down at the library, that thing there. That was done by the Kiwanis.
Right.
Okay, so we have the two messed up, and like I was telling you, I don't even know how many more clubs we have in town. We used to have the Lions Club. You said they're not practicing anymore.
Knights of Columbus.
Well, yeah,
we
that
have
now that's still Knights of Columbus is still happening, but there's
Yeah.
only a few. They're doing it at VFW.
the Polish Club.
Yeah, even that one's not doing too
No,
good, is it?
it's not.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
And
it's
it's a Rotary Club has come forward and supported
yes.
the $28,000 or so, probably more, to restore this mural, and you have been the challenger for the town.
The
to
architect.
The architect, that's right. So, Bill, why don't you take on your piece, and I have a small version of the 1930s newspaper version article that I want to present.
Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate you having me on the show today. And let's start off by defining what I'd best call myself, which is the chief instigator on this. And in any event, I would like to start off by saying that Danvers has a very, very rich history. And I think most people who live here aren't aware of that. And what I'd like to focus on is the summer of 1774, pre-Revolutionary War. You're
Ben, would you please show the mural right now? That way we can talk to it.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Thank you very much. In any event, during the summer of 1774, for quite a number of reasons, General Gage lived in the town of Danvers. And this, what's depicted here is a home owned by Robert Hooper, which was down on Sylvan Street, and that's where he lived during the summer. And quite a number of things happened while he was here in this area, and one of which was this event here, which is depicted in this mural. And I'll just stop at that point. Let's back us up a little bit. What is it we're looking at, and get into it. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. First of all, it's a rather large mural. It's approximately 8 feet by 9 feet and was one of 17 commissioned back in the mid-1930s by a team of local artisans, Richard Ellery, Solomon Levinson, and Thomas Baker. And this was part of a national program to capture events of local history and present them as icons for the people of their town, and such as this one here. Now, what we're looking at is an event that happened during that time, whereas what you're looking at is 7 members of presumably the Danvers militia who, for whatever reasons, felt justified in taking down these leaden-sheathed wooden balls off the fence posts of Hooper's Great House here, presumably to turn into musket balls. And during that interchange, somebody came to the door to protest, and somebody took a shot at the front door. And the house itself has been moved to Washington, D.C. back in the 30s, but the bullet hole still exists to this day in that house, and this is part of Danvers legend. Now, as I said, this was one of 17 murals that originally hung in Danvers Town Hall from the mid-1930s up to about 1949. At such time, Town Hall was remodeled, and this, along with, I think, most of the other murals, were taken down and rather shabbily rolled up and just tucked away wherever. They surfaced once in the late 1960s. An inventory was taken. They went back into storage. And in the 90s, it surfaced again, and that's when I took interest in the project. That this particular mural I thought was very, very significant, because from the time I was a child, I had been told that this probably depicts what could be the first shot fired in the American Revolutionary War, and that was fired in Danvers, Massachusetts, and during the summer of 1774. So this piece of history had been lost. It sort of faded out with the previous generation. So I'm the lone last Mohegan here to talk about this. And going back to my self-imposed title of chief instigator, specifically for the last year and a half, I've led a team that has seen to get this mural restored, and eventually it's going to be returned to its position at Danvers Town Hall. And this has taken quite a bit of effort. First of all, it was supported financially by the Danvers Rotary Club. The restoration of the mural was somewhere in the vicinity of $28,600, and supplemental actions that go along with this in terms of sub-framing and main framing add another, I don't know, $10,000 or $15,000. So ultimately, this project is, right now we're valuing at about $43,000. It's taken quite a while to get this restored. There is a local restore shop up in Lawrence that first they had to restore the canvas that the painting was painted on. It had been stored so badly. And once they stabilized that, then they had to essentially repaint the hundreds of missing flecks of paint off of this. So they've brought back a very interesting piece of history, American history, which could evolve into a special history to itself, which I'm working on writing a manuscript. But that's the backstory of the mural. Now, I told you what it depicts. The shot fired at Hooper's Great House, which happened during the summer of 1774. And what's happening now is restoration is just about complete. The first week in January, it's going to be remounted or returned to Danvers Town Hall. And at such time, it'll be open to the public to see. And I would like to make everybody in Danvers aware of that, so they can come down and enjoy a piece of their heritage. And they may be on the revealing of yet an interesting part of our Revolutionary War that most people just aren't aware of.
Great. What I would like to do is, and I omitted part of this last show because we got hung up on Kiwanis and Rotary, and I got chastised for not mentioning Kiwanis, but Kiwanis didn't have anything to do with this. This was all based on Rotary involvement, and Rotary has in the past contributed a lot to the town, both financially, and the business community comes together and they do support valued endeavors. So what I want to do is the Rotary Endowment Trustees deserve our thanks, with Bill Kossawan and the Danvers Historical Committee assisting in getting this accomplished. Unveiling and dedication is scheduled for December, well, now it's January of 2026. Now, the specific date has not been determined, but they're going to prep the area the weekend before it's unveiled, and then it'll be an unveiling following that, because I think we need that kind of dedication. This is a very significant Revolutionary War mural that depicts maybe the first shot ever fired in the Revolutionary War.
Where is that house in D.C.? Is it in Georgetown? Is that what that thing
It's
is?
in the it's in the DuPont Circle area on Caloroma
Okay.
Road.
The reason being, I remember something when I took a tour because my daughter was there for a few semesters, and the minute I remember them saying something about a house from Danvers that was.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to remember. Was DuPont? Okay, all right, DuPont Circle.
So
Got it.
I would like to, and I think they deserve to be mentioned because they need to be thanked for all of this effort. The Rotary Endowment Trustees are Matt Schroeder, Neil Waldman, Barry Kaplan, John Soames, and Jackie Chambeau, with Natalie Luca Fiore and Bill Kosawan right up front with the Rotary, moving this project along. And I would like to make sure that we are there to film this, because that's something that we're going to be looking at.
Are they going to advertise it? I wonder if they'll advertise
Well,
it.
we can advertise it, but I I understand that DCAT is going to be helping in depicting the process of changes that are going to happen at the two-stairway entrance to the town hall. So hopefully the town hall will get enlightened, and maybe the DPW will help in this endeavor. So we want to thank the DPW and the town manager, if that's the case. Now,
If I may interject just a couple more things. First of all, Danvers Rotary has been very, very generous to the town of Danvers. I don't know if most people are aware, but the bandstand down by the library is due to them.
I thought that
25
was the Kiwanis. Wasn't that the Kiwanis?
No, that's Rotary.
that was the Rotary. I was even on the Rotary as a member when I was on the Board of Selectmen. This was back in the 90s that it was completed, I think, in 2000.
Okay.
I might also mention that Rotary also restored another one of these murals back about 30 years ago, and that's downstairs in one of the meeting halls in the public library. So the Danvers Rotary has been very, very generous to the town of Danvers, and I can't thank them enough, and they've been very, very helpful.
Is that the one in the meeting room that has the carriage depiction?
Something like that.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's
seen it in a while.
big mural.
Big mural, same format as this. The other thing I'll mention is that every facet of this restoration has been a learning lesson. Politically, in terms of restorative arts, so on and so forth. So it's been quite an adventure. The company or the person who is restoring it is preparing a book about this, not so much for current people to enjoy, but he's planning ahead 100, 150 years from now when this mural may need for additional restoration, which I thought was interesting. And the other thing I might mention, as I said, and you hinted at, it's possible that this mural, when it's resurfacing, may wind up focusing national attention to Danvers Town Hall.
Right.
This is a significant revelation of American history.
So I just hope that Town Hall is not bashful about publicity. Politics and this wisdom that happens. So, Ben, if you can just show up my Albert Einstein mural. There we go. This is the one I've used for years. I fear the day that technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots. Albert Einstein was wise enough to recognize that, because what we've been hearing right along is, look on the internet, look in history, look at this, look at that, but don't get involved. And you became involved because of your personal involvement, so thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you.
So, next item, 17 minutes left, Tony. I'm telling you, this is getting to be a short show.
Well, tell me about it.
Budget preparation.
Okay.
Now, you noticed that at the last select board meeting, there was a brief discussion that the state legislature is looking at revamping or revising the 2.5 override criteria. Well, the only thing that can be salvaged from that discussion is that what they're afraid of is we're running out of other people's money.
Yes.
We have to start the Board of Selectmen, or the Select Board, to start thinking like the residents. We are overtaxed.
No question about it.
And this state and this community is being overtaxed, and we need to revise our attitude. We need to start cutting back on the, well, there's not much you can cut back, but there's a lot of benefits that are being funded by our taxes because we have committed to that. We need to start
They have to
revising.
sharpen the pencil.
That's right. So, the town is currently going through a process for each and every department and every division to prepare a preliminary budget. This is basically a budget to fund next year's, as of July 1, function of the government in this town. The problem is that we still don't have an idea of how much free cash is available.
I'm not going to tell you that until the end.
I've asked for that and I haven't received it yet. We don't know I always ask for the 100 highest paid employees in this town.
Did you get that yet?
No. And the third one is the management team has been growing under the previous town manager, and we haven't seen any adjustments by the
Savings.
current
They
town.
keep telling us that all these computers and stuff, it's going to make everything, we're going to spend so much money on this and that, it's going to save us money. Where's the savings? We haven't seen it yet.
Now, I am going to just briefly discuss some of the claims that I have identified. Danvers elected and appointed officials will claim that the town has never been in better financial shape, pointing to millions they have stockpiled in free cash, school building funds, COVID federal funding, and contingency funds. That's one item that I have not been able to obtain, is how many of these savings accounts that we have and for what purpose. Last year we went through that because we had an $8.2 million free cash account and they didn't know where to put it to hide it. So now they're looking at new places, establishing new accounts for purposes like special education, like buildings. They want to establish a DPW fund. I mean, we don't even have that idea materialized yet, and they're already looking at saving money. What about giving the taxpayers a break?
Tell me about it.
The state is in the same situation. Wait till we have the next election or next. There's something like 47 different accounts that are being looked at by the Secretary of State, whether they can be put on the ballot as ballot questions. One of them is, how do we get rid of 2.5? Now, I have a statement that I'll produce next show. 2.5 has been in effect for over 30 years. The thing is that we have been constrained, or our town government has been constrained from spending every single penny and then looking for us to fund it. We need to start looking at what can we cut. And there are many things that we can cut and evaluate. Benefits is one. Retirement is another one. Insurance is another one. What are we doing?
I'm surprised they don't self-insure. I mean, really.
They
in a way.
do.
They do
They
to a
do.
certain amount, not all of it, though, right? Some
That's
goes
right.
out,
They go through the MMA, and there's a insurance policy that's in
that's a
place.
big racket right there. I mean, really. in a
Well,
way.
if we don't use it, supposedly it should come back to us, but we never identify that. I mean, they don't want to talk about anything that's coming back and it's not being spent. And every year, if you look at the school department, every penny is spent.
Well, they're afraid. They won't leave anything behind because next year they won't be able to get anything. They'll cut their budget. That's why. That's why
Well,
they spend everything and
They've
want more.
never cut the school department
We know that.
budget.
They're talking 50%. I think it's higher than that.
It's about 65% right now, because they don't want to talk about the town department components.
You heard them talking about the vote. I mean, Essex Tech too, right? They're talking about putting more students.
Well, they should put more students.
But
in there.
it should come out of the school committee budget. It should come out of the school committee budget. Why should it touch us?
We've been saying that for years, and the thing is that the Essex Tech funding is per student because that's how many students want to go there. They want to go double that number.
That's what I've been hearing.
But the problem is that they've never cut back on the Danvers School Department
That's the
budget.
point I'm getting at.
And here we go again. We're going to fund both schools. Wait till the charter school comes in that's on the
Well, that's gonna-
Peabody,
that might-
Pulaski Street.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with that. I mean,
Well, no, it's being built.
yeah, I know that. I've seen that. They're going heavy at it right now.
That's going to be I think it's below middle school. So it's going
Not
to be
sure
grammar
exactly.
school through middle school. So Danvers politics elites, selectmen, and town management have continually hammered homeowners. Danvers' soon-to-be-announced budget will have increased more than 70% since 2005. That is 5.5% average increase every year in the amount of taxes collected. What happened to 2.5 limits? There is no end in sight for ever escalating taxes and fees in Danvers.
It sounds like every year they're going up more.
Well, the thing is, they figured out a way to not include the new growth into the 2.5% calculation because the state legislature allowed them to do that years ago. So now what they do is they multiply the new growth multiple times until they get to 2.5. And that never happens because what happens with our tax rate is when the tax rate goes down, the assessments go up. When the assessments go down, tax rate goes up. So it's never-ending balance.
But like I said it before, and it's true. Taxes every year has been going up like crazy, okay? Before it took 5 to 6 years to see a difference. I mean, back quite a few years ago, it seemed that way. Now it's constantly, every year it's, automatic.
We discussed one issue that I want to bring up this time. We are due an abatement from the assessor's office for the conditions that we are enduring as a result of the Beverly Airport jet flights over our community. I have a setup where I sit in the dining room, and I have my computer, and it's like clockwork. Jets going out, jets coming back.
You're 5 miles out. That's
Every
95.
every single day.
Yes.
And I have received confirmation from the Beverly Airport manager that I have a listing of every single day and how many flights are coming in, coming out that are jets. And also the numbers of regular flights.
Well, I can vouch for that. The house shakes.
So that's right. And the thing is, what we need to do is have a community appraisal of our properties with a abatement process that will start in January. And we need to prepare a abatement statement that should be devoted to the select board, because they are the ones that need to represent us.
Yes.
So-
the MBTA used to do that. Any of the if you live next to an MBTA district, we used to get a monthly check.
Well, maybe that's what we
Yeah,
should
so
be
it was.
getting.
Back in the old days, so it was. If you lived on the rail trail for being in the railroad, you got a check every month, like $30 or whatever it was for the nuisance of the train coming by.
Right. And the thing is that they are allowed to assess the waterfront properties at a higher rate than us. They have asked for an abatement, and they have not been very successful, but some properties do get an abatement from the assessor's office. So if they can increase the value of the waterfront properties for increase in the amount of taxes,
Some of it's not water; it's
We-
mud for 12 hours.
that's right. So that's something that we should be planning, and we should get together with John Lynch from the assessor's office and set up a mass filing of airport impacts.
Who's going to pay for that, though? Is the airport going to pay for it?
For what? No. This is the town. See, this is the way to get the
Yes.
action of the town government
Well,
to
that's what I've been saying
represent
for a long time.
our
Yes.
view.
Yes, that I
By
agree with.
cutting off their money.
Yes,
That's
that I
what
agree
it's-
with. That's the only thing they understand is money.
That's what it's about. So,
Sad.
just, Ben, if you can throw up my Beverly Regional Airport clip, I just want to make a very quick statement because
We got to excuse Bill from this, though.
no,
I'm only fooling around.
Bill can abstain. He doesn't have to vote on this. But the thing is, Beverly Airport is abusing the Danvers residents, and they are impacting us every single day.
Yes, and they're really abusing us. Believe me, I'm telling you right now.
Okay. So let me just read this on compliance. Well, I'm just going to say this. Beverly Regional Airport Commission, as airport proprietor, having the charge of operating, maintaining, and developing the airport with prudence and sound judgment, recognizes its responsibility to the citizens of the city of Beverly. That's all they
Yeah.
quote.
They take
What
care of
about
Beverly.
Danvers and Wenham?
Yeah. They
And
take care of
Topsfield.
everyone. Believe me.
And
We have no representation.
while mindful of the impact airport operations can have upon the environment and social well-being of the community, the airport and its airspace shall be protected as an asset to the community, having the primary purpose of facilitating air transportation. Here we go. It's only for Beverly. In accordance with the regulations of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the United States of America, the Beverly Regional Airport Commission establishes the operating rules and regulations for the Beverly Regional Airport and the minimum standards of commercial operations. Well, I would like to ask the Beverly Airport Commission to stop jet traffic in our neighborhood. If they want to fly over Beverly, more power to them.
It's not going to happen. It
that's-
should happen.
That's all right. but
That's
we
what.
need-
That's what's going to make them wake up when they start having all the jets come down Rantoul Street.
That's right. They don't want that. One thing that I want to update everyone on is that, as you know, last show, we presented a Danvers Concerned residence under my name to a letter to the Secretary Sean Duffy, U.S. Secretary of Transportation, U.S. Department of Transportation, at Washington, D.C. The many concerned, I am reaching out to you for intervention on behalf of the thousands of residents of our community. I appreciate your time and efforts dedicated to the airline industry that has made air travel safe and efficient. The recognition and update of the regulatory administrative state needs extensive reviews. The local, municipal, and regional airports deserve to stay small and unobtrusive to the communities where located. Not every airport can or should become a jetport. These private jets deserve a place on the functioning and established airports and fields. Incursion onto residential areas will only cause the issues that I am presenting in this letter here at the Beverly Municipal Airport in Massachusetts. I cannot go on, and this is a 2.5-page letter, and I am trying to get some attention from the Secretary of Transportation because he is in charge of FAA and the federal and regional office, and I've also directed this letter to the Attorney General for Massachusetts and the federal, Miss Bondi. So the question here is, how legitimate is the land being used by the airport facilities, and how are we impacted? So I am looking for some remedy from the Secretary of Transportation. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for being here, and I hope
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes,
Merry
Merry
Christmas.